For 5 years since I started Axe, the first question people have had is, are any of the homes built? Can I talk to one of the property owners? The question is, now that you actually have an Axe home on the actual property, is it worth it? Fully off grid, is it worth it? If I move off grid, will I completely have to give up my modern luxuries? Can you have normal air conditioning with solar power? What are the downsides of moving off grid from someone who's actually done it? The juiciest, most direct question that I get all the time. Is Axe a cult? This is the first home built on an Axe decentralized property. Behind me is the home at a gated mess ranch here at Panoply Ranch near Sebring, Florida. Usually you would have me answering every one of the questions in the frequently asked questions. We're gonna actually talk to the owner and the builder of this home as he goes through the top 10 most frequently asked questions people have about building with Axe decentralized real estate. We're gonna meet the owner and we're gonna take a tour of the exterior to understand what actually powers the home. Along the way, we're gonna answer some key questions like, can you actually live a normal life off of just solar power alone? If you have a well, is it gonna have enough pressure to be able to take a shower? And can you even potentially charge a car using solar? We're gonna answer all of those questions and more in this video. So first off, let me introduce you guys to Gary. Hey there, Gary.
Hi.
How you doing? So Gary, what did it take for you to be able to get this property off the ground? Was it just easy or did it take a lot of sacrifice?
Probably not sacrifice, more commitment once you decide to do it, and then it just takes time and money.
The first question I have for you, Gary, is, Gary, can you choose your own custom home design, and can you have more than one home on an Axe property?
Can you build your own custom home? Certainly. We went to a website, Architectural Designs is where we ended up. We've built a home before, so we knew kind of the process behind it, but you could certainly draw on a piece of craft paper the floor plan you wanted and take it to an architect and have them do it. But we went to a website. It gives you architectural plans. There's probably hundreds or thousands of homes of all different styles. We like the ranch home. There's 2 stories, 1 stories, small, large, whatever you want. And they're all probably $800 to $1,500. And you may pay a little bit more to get electronic drawings, which I would recommend, because then you can take them to your engineer and have him build your construction plans from that. More than one home would depend on whatever the county's rules are. So you would have to look that up. I mean, here we have one. We could add more, but you could probably get around that by just doing breezeways and making a big home instead of a small home or connecting some together.
One of the next questions I get a lot is, how am I supposed to make the transition? Gary, can you talk about your experience as you made a transition to living in your actual own home?
So once we bought our property, we needed to sell our house to have the money to afford the house and to construction. So the way we did is we put our house up for sale, and then we planned to live with our relatives for a short period of time and then move into our house. The process took longer than that. So what we did was we sold our house, which actually sold in a weekend, which was way too fast, but that was great too. And after that, then we moved to my relatives. We lived with them for about a year and a half. They graciously gave us a room to live in. From then, for the last, I guess, 6 to 9 months, we bought this camper. You can get campers pretty affordably if you go for used, which we did. You can get very nice campers for used. This is 39 feet. It's got a king bed. It's got lazy boys. It's got island kitchen. It's, you can get a fully outfitted place. Costs us about $300 a month in payment. So it's probably cheaper than living in an apartment. Now, the downside, of course, we started off with a generator and running our own water. So I had to bring gas, I had to bring water every week to the homestead, plug in the generator to run the air conditioning. We chose the wintertime because it's Florida, so we didn't have to use as much energy as you would in the summer. And we got water from the front property, which has a well already. Within a month or two, we got our solar installed, which then allowed us to plug our camper into that. So then we had basically not free energy because we had to pay a lot to get our solar installed, but from then on, we don't have to pay. So we have energy forever. After that, probably 3 or 4 weeks, we got our well installed. So then we hooked the well water up to our camper, and then we're totally self-sufficient. And I'm not driving to town for gas or driving to the front and filling up with water.
If I move off grid, will I still be able to get connected to the internet?
We have Starlink. Thank you, Elon Musk. It's a Starlink Mini, which is also roaming. You could drive anywhere and set it up and just use it. And then I have it piped into my camper, and we have internet, we have streaming services, anything that you would want. The only thing you probably can't do with Starlink Mini would be make massive gaming. So if you have a teenager that wants to game, probably not working.
If I move off grid, will I completely have to give up my modern luxuries? I like to take a hot shower. I like to watch TV. I like to be able to use cookware. Are you able to do it? And what does a solar setup look like for you?
Okay, behind me is our solar setup. I can't tell you exactly because I don't remember the exact amount of solar, but that depends on what you're going to want for your house. So if you have a really big house, you're going to need bigger solar. Smaller house, you need less solar because it's based on your usage. But we have 2 sets of panels, one facing east, one facing west. And then the shed in the background, which we can go look inside in a second. It's got our batteries and our inverters. I want to show you something really cool that you probably didn't think you could do. Let me hide my number here. Let me open my garage, which has an automatic garage door, which you can also have. This garage door is actually insulated, so it's super heavy, but it also goes along with the rest of the insulation of the house. We have a Tesla. Don't show them my...
I won't.
We have a Tesla charger on the wall, which you can charge with, as much amps as you got in your battery. Charge your car like you're sitting at the power station. So really nice for charging your Tesla. So with our camper hookup, what we had our electrician do when we had our solar put in for the house is we had him add this little connector on the side here, which is basically a 240 plug-in, and we plugged our camper in, and we have power for the camper. So everything we need in the camper to run the air conditioners, the electric, the internet, and everything else. So.
And so, Gary, this same solar setup, this was used, to be clear, use this for the house and the camper, or did you just use it for...
It's working both the house and the camper right now because we're kind of living in between the two as we transition and move into the house. So, and we haven't had any problems since we turned the air conditioner on like a month ago. As part of the build, they want the air conditioner on so they can do the interior work. And we've been running the air conditioner in the house and the camper. There is sometimes on cloudy days when we run the generator, but that's something that you have to kind of learn yourself as you go because it all depends on how much power you use. So this is the solar shed. I can open up. We bought this shed, was about $8,000. They brought it out. It's Florida safe. It's bolted into the ground. Come around here real quick. You can see the bolts. So you just have to have a gravel pile and they bring it out. They install the whole thing, plop down. It's done, right? It's already built. I did the installation myself. You could probably pay them to do it, but I'm retired, so I got time. This is our solar setup. It's 4 batteries. EG4 is the company we went with. They're very reliable. The inverters are on the top. That's the part where it takes the solar energy and puts it into the batteries. It takes the solar energy out of the batteries and puts it out as AC. We have two panels here. So we have one that was our solar panel, and then we have the second we added a little bit later when we wanted to run our small generator we use for our camper. We wanted to use that until we could afford a bigger generator. So we got these things called charge verters, which are basically like your phone charger, but massive scale. So you can control the power on these. You can turn up the amperage, down the amperage. So we can use our small generator without killing our small generator to power our batteries on cloudy days. This powers currently our camper. It powers this air conditioner from a plug that's on the other side. It powers our well, and it powers our house. The other thing I did was I added this little window air conditioner from the Home Depot. It's all taped up like that because we have love bugs in Florida, which are a big pain in the butt. And so I put basically screen on it and taped it to keep the love bugs from getting into my camper or getting into my into my shed. So, but the air conditioner is set to 80 degrees. It just keeps the power shed at a constant temperature for the equipment. This is my generator. I think we also bought this off the internet. It's the Westinghouse. It's a fairly large portable generator, 11 kW, but I wanted it to be, it's a 50 amp so it can run a big trailer. And also I wanted to use it temporarily to power my batteries and my solar on cloudy days. So if your charge of your batteries goes down to a certain amount and you need more to make it through the night, you know, you got sun during the day, dark at night, you can run the generator. The generator is plugged in over here, which is the other side of the wall we were just looking at, into this box, which goes to those charge verters we were just looking at. And then this last piece, the grid boss, is basically where this is like the power company. All the power from the generator goes in here, all the power from the batteries goes in here, all the power from the solars goes in here, and then it's run from here up into the house, just like it's my power company in my shed.
Florida is really, really hot and you use off-grid solar. So can you still have air conditioning?
This is my air conditioner compressor, the outside piece, which everybody has on your house. Nothing fancy. It's a normal air conditioning unit that was sized, I think it's 2 tons or 4 tons. I can't remember, but it's sized for the house. So depending on what size house, you may need more or less solar. You may need more or less air conditioner, but it's a standard air conditioner like any other house has. This is our air conditioning air handler unit, and this is our controller for our zones. We have 3 zones in our house, and what that means is we have 3 areas of the house that we want to keep cool. One is a guest area, and since my wife and I are retired and are mostly by ourselves, we keep the zone 1, which would be our master bedroom, and the zone 2, which would be the main house, running most of the time. We can set the zone 3, which is the guest area, to a higher temperature and not cool that as much. So it's another thing that you can do in your house for efficiency and for saving your power.
So to answer the question, can you have normal air conditioning with solar power?
Certainly. There's a 240 plug right there, and it plugs into the compressor. The power runs from the solar shed up to the house, and it comes in the house just into a panel, just like your normal house. So for the well water, this is my little shed I built with spare materials actually from my house build. And I built this because I wanted to protect my well equipment and also for the cold. And we don't have a lot of cold in Florida, but we have enough days that our water line to our camper froze up a couple nights. So I built this, and this was enough to keep it from freezing. The well it's not a whole lot of stuff. It's a hole in the ground, and they drop the pump down in it, and then you have this extra little tank. It's basically for just keeping pressure up. So
how much pressure do you get? A lot of people ask, can you take a shower? Can you use this for everyday water stuff?
Definitely. We're running the camper off of this. We're running the house off of this. You can take a shower. We haven't got our water treatment, which is another piece of the puzzle. We have the plumbing for it, but we're waiting on the filter. Somebody will come and test your water once it's all finished, and they tell you what you need as a filter based on your needs. If you want hard water, soft water, what you want for your water. We didn't particularly want soft water, but we wanted to take any smells out or any discolorations out, which you sometimes get because water coming out of the ground, as many people may or may not know, has minerals in it, like things from the ground that has to be taken out.
So Gary, another question people have is whether they can have hot water while living fully off grid using solar power.
Okay, so this is our water heater. You can have a normal water heater, which would run off of electric or gas. If you had propane, you could have gas out here, but we opted for what's called a heat pump water heater, which is super efficient for solar. So it may be something you would want to choose. And it works the opposite of your outdoor air conditioner. It takes the heat out of the air and blows cold air. So one of the reasons I had my insulation of my garage door is that if the garage door is closed and this is running, it'll blow cold air into my garage to keep my garage cooler, and it would also use less electricity because it's not using electric, it's just using the power to run the compressor, kind of like your air conditioner.
Another question is about water harvesting besides wells. Gary, what do we have here?
This is a 50-gallon barrel, and then we just ran our downspout to catch rainwater. What we just found is that they fill up very, very fast. It gets, comes out pretty good. And I can show you in a second. We've got our 2 trees over there. We have a system that is a gravity feed. So what you can basically do is put one of these gravity feeds on, and then it has like trickles into the Barbados cherry trees we got sitting there. So you can actually use the water from these barrels to irrigate or, feed your plants. We're going to have to get more barrels because these things fill up really quickly.
So Gary, one of the next questions people have is about home construction and home construction quality. For example, here in Florida, we have a lot of hurricanes. So how do we know that our home is not going to get completely destroyed by a hurricane? What do you do about that in construction?
So what we opted for in our house was cement slab, which ours is 5 inches thick. It has rebars in it, which is metal that holds it, makes it stronger. We have concrete block walls. We have those insulated. And when they build these walls, what they do is they put rebar in the floor, and it comes straight up. And then they build the blocks, and then they put rebar down through the blocks like an L shape, so it's across the top and down. And then they pour concrete, and it's like every 6 or 8 feet, I don't know the exact amount, but that they basically concrete the walls and the top of the roof, which is tied to the blocks with metal. So you have a concrete floor, metal bars, concrete going all the way up through these walls, and then concrete that's across through the top lintel, which is this top part across the very top where your roof would go on. So the metal that comes out of the blocks at the top is bent over each of the roof trusses, and it's all bolted together. So your house is built very sturdy. Of course, it's to code. If you did it in wood, you'd have to do something similar with tie down, but we just thought that concrete would be a lot more safe.
So here we are with the money shot. Are you guys ready for it? Look at this. Look at this beautiful kitchen, and boom, we have lighting. We have the actual lights. Everything's actually fully working. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful kitchen. Wanted to talk about, can you guys tell me a little bit about your mindset with this kitchen? You guys kind of like thinking through it and kind of designing it out and your ideas for it?
Whatever she wants.
Happy marriage. We do a lot of family dinners, family celebrations. So even though here, for the most part, it's just the 2 of us, we want a big island. When we can have 4 people sitting here, everybody gravitates to the kitchen. So I have my oven, I have my induction, and everything is here. So when I'm getting my coffee in the morning, I can see the sun rise. And that's when I have my little chat with God. So I wanted something comfortable, but I wanted it pretty. So this is pretty.
Love it.
So it's not easy. It's not gonna be easy. Anything that is God's will and you want it bad and He wants it bad for you, you gotta meet Him halfway. And this is halfway. So if you go in with some preparation and a lot of prayer and a lot of flexibility and a lot of willingness to shift, it'll happen. But you can't expect other people to do it for you. You have to do it. You have to figure it out. Or ask somebody's help and they'll teach you. But you can't expect people to just, boom, there it is. That's a track house in Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not this. So, a lot of people are on Instagram and they think it looks really cool and they can go and chat with their friends and say, oh, this is something we're going to do as a family, but they don't commit.
So, Gary, what are the downsides of moving off grid from someone who's actually done it?
If you don't like to sweat and you don't like to work, then this is probably not something for you to do. A lot of days I am doing maintenance around the driveway, around the house. You have to cut the grass. 10 acres of grass is a lot of grass. And maybe you have a cloudy day. So depending on how your setup is, mine right now, I have to go turn my generator on. And that's a manual process. So you may be able to get it to automatic, but if you think about things like everything that you want McDonald's, like fast food or automatic, you're going to pay big dollars for that. But it's definitely doable, not on a shoestring budget, but it's definitely doable. But you have to learn things and you have to be willing to work. And I, use a wheelbarrow, I use a shovel, I use a rake.
You also have to teach yourself.
Yeah.
I had to learn. I had to have a total different mindset with it being solar powered. All my life, I lived in a warm climate. So you do laundry and you do the dishwasher and you do any heavy electrical things in the evening so that you're not paying out the wazoo to the electric company. You're on a budget. Here, you're using solar. You don't want to do a lot of stuff in the evening because that takes your power way, way down. You want to do it when the sun's out. That's when you want to do your laundry. That's when you want to wash your dishes. That's when you want to vacuum. That's when you want to...
By 1 or 2 o'clock, our batteries are charged at 100%. So once the batteries are 100%, any excess solar is free power. So that's when you set the car to charge from like 1 to 3. You do your heavy electric stuff during the time when you have the sun.
You have to be a person. You have to be a person that likes to learn new things. I'm a lifelong learner, and I just love learning new things. And being off grid is learning new things.
I learned about RVs.
I learned about RVs. I didn't know I was going to.
I've been camping a lot of times, like with Boy Scouts and Primitive, and we also had a camper in our family, a tent camper, a pop-up camper, and then we got this big RV, 39 feet long, all these great things in it, but it's just like a little house. So if the water stops, well, why?
You're right.
Joanna had, my water's not working. So I had already figured it out with my camper that there's valves like hidden in the underside of your cabinet. So when she had no water, I knew where, turn your switch on. Oh, okay, there's where it is, and turn the water on.
Right.
But that's something I learned. I didn't know all about repairing campers, but rather than waiting for somebody to come for a week, I just figured it out myself. So.
And I'm the helper. Today, big pots of cherry trees. We can't lift them.
No, they were 200 pounds.
You can't pick them up and put them in a wheelbarrow. So, mechanical advantage. I'm like, okay, and it's 2 old farts construction. Put it in the wheelbarrow and use the...
Yeah, we use the tie down straps, put it around the cherry tree, around the pot, and then we put 3 tied round straps up to the crane, and then we craned it up and put it in the wheelbarrow.
Switched it
And
in.
then once we had it in the wheelbarrow, we could bring it up and slide it out. But to lift that thing, there was no way. It was too heavy.
So it's, you gotta learn things.
Yeah.
And sometimes you mess up. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It really doesn't work.
The juiciest, most direct question that I get all the time. Is Axe a cult?
Our middle daughter thought seriously it was, and she kept trying to tell us this has got to be a cult. But I mean, we drove down here like 4 times before we made our mind up. No, it's not a cult.
It's not a cult.
No, we'd have meetings and do things or something, and you know, we're just out here by ourselves, hanging out with the cows. So
And
no, not a cult.
no, and the Maynards, they had a beautiful Easter sunrise.
Yep.
So we went and hung out with them Easter Sunday.
Yeah, all the
But it's
people we've met.
Not a cult.
No, all the people we've met are very nice people in general.
Yeah, not a
We
cult.
all wave and everybody stops by because they want to see the progress and stuff like that and ask questions, and we try to help with anything we've learned.
I don't want to spring anything on you guys too much, but kind of just talking about that. I mean, are you guys Christian? Did you guys find yourselves going to church a lot beforehand? Not so much. What kind of is that like for you guys? Because yeah.
Well, from yeah, I'm a PK to a certain extent. Both of my grandfathers were Lutheran ministers. So, and my mom was served in the church. My dad served in the church. I served. We've served in the church. We've been leaders in BSF, Bible study. We've taken a sabbatical since we retired because we've basically been working in the church our entire lives. So now that we've got our house built, that's one of the things we have to do is we moved from Myrtle Beach, where we had a really great church called Wellspring that we love. And I was involved heavily there with the video production. And when we moved here, we just said, okay, we're going to wait till we get our house built, get settled, and then find us a church. But yes, we are Christian.
But
She went to Christian schools
yeah.
her whole life.
But that doesn't mean like you don't have to belong to an organized institution. You don't. That's not what Christianity is all about. Christianity is about a personal, intimate relationship with
Jesus
God
Christ.
and Jesus Christ every day, every minute of the day. Pray unceasingly.
Daily wisdom from men. She gets on my case because it's like from I don't know what it's from. It's from 2017, and I this is my devotional. It's Lessons for Men. I read that every day, and I read my Bible every morning pretty much. But I'm 3 days behind. I think I'm in Proverbs right now, and 3 days behind because we had guests. But I will catch up.
And I get up at 5:36 lately
Yeah.
to watch the sun come up, have my coffee, and that's my quiet time. So it isn't like, oh my gosh, we have to find a church. We're not fulfilled unless we find a church. No, that's not the case. But to say we're believers, yes.
Yes.
If that's a cult, so be it.
Yeah.
So the next big question people have is basically, is Axe a scam? You guys have been with me through the highs and through the lows, the crazy stuff. Is Axe a scam?
No, it is not a scam.
scam.
It is not a scam. And, I love you to pieces, baby, but we did a deep, dark dive on you, and he is a computer guy. So, yeah, I found you on Instagram because, that's what you do. And he's always talked about wanting land. I was like, wow, this is a really cool idea. But you were only in Texas at the time, so I thought, okay, I'm good.
Then she told me about it.
So I was like, you really need to look at this. This is kind of a cool concept. Really cool. So he did. And then we were like, I wonder. So we started the deep dive to see if it was a scam.
Yeah.
Because on Instagram and social media, you have scams.
Yeah.
To be fair, you do. It's not a scam. We did the dark dive.
Yeah.
And then
At Christmas of 2015, 23, we made up our mind.
Well, no,
2024, we put in our...
He said, "Oh, we're coming to Florida."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no, it's really happening." So we came to see what the land would be
Brought
like.
our daughter with us.
Brought our eldest daughter, and we listened how it worked and how you go about it. And we went and we sat down with our children, Sam and Costas, and we said, "Is this something you all would be interested in? A family compound. We'll go first because we know that certain situations you're not ready to make that move due to jobs and other things." And they were like, "Yeah, we want to do it." My one daughter and her husband, he's military. He was like, "I don't see that because I'm career, but it would be great for a place to come when I'm not deployed." So he's got a spot. Another daughter was like, "Yeah, I want cows."
She wants cows.
She's got
always
eggs
wanted
already.
cows.
So that
She's got
was the
chickens.
first thing, to see if anybody even wanted to do it.
Right.
And then we had to decide, well, how do we go about doing it? How much is this really going to cost? What do we want to build?
Right.
What is the size of it? What do we want to put into it? How much is that going to cost? You can do the research. It will take time.
Mm-hmm.
It's exhausting. You were still working.
Yep.
And he would work all day. I would have dinner. We'd sit down with pen and paper and notes and websites, and okay, this is a design we want. This would be how much the square footage is. And you have to do your homework.
Yep.
You can't go in and have the teacher go, "Here you go."
And it changes because it changes based on where you live. The prices for different things are different prices. It changes by time. So if you start planning in, say, the end of 2023 or 2024, by the time you get to 2026,
Prices have gone up.
Prices have gone up. Things have changed. Do you want to use the same materials? Do you want to try to get materials up front? I mean, there's all kinds of options and things you can think of.
And we definitely would have sat down with Axe Homes.
There was no
But
Axe
there
Homes.
was no Axe Homes.
There was
at
no
the
wanted
time.
raw foods.
There was no wanted raw foods.
Right. So people ask if it's a scam. Well, it's gone from Axe, which was just land, to Axe.
With a concept
Yep.
of
With the ranchising.
ranchising.
And then it went to Wanted Raw Foods, which is now a company that's serving people. And then it's gone to Axe Homes, which I just saw recently, who they're getting their first one started. So there's other options there through Axe.
It's
and
not
you
a
can,
scam.
A number of the people I've talked to that live here or have got property here, we had our builder, which was somebody that we knew. The other person I talked to the other day, they had a different builder. A person in the front, they have a different builder. So, and
that's okay.
that's okay. So you do what, you do you.
And what you
can afford, what works for you. Right.
What works for you, how you do it, but you have to do the work. Even if you go with Axe Homes and they're there helping you along the way, you have to know what you want.
Yeah. Yes.
And be okay with possibly shifting and flexing and
Yeah, because not all the time what you want is what you can afford.
or you can
So,
even achieve it here.
Or you can get more sometimes. You
Or
can
you
get
get
more
more.
than you
You
would
can get
think you
more.
could get. So, you look at things. You can easily go online and check out how much appliances cost. You can go to websites and find out how much cabinets cost. Or you can call, everybody that makes stuff for construction is perfectly happy to give you an estimate. Everybody will be perfectly happy to give you an estimate.
And we learn too.
But you have to know what you want to ask them. They're going to come to say, well, what do you want? What kind of sink do you want? How many cabinets do you want?
Well, and you also have to learn, that's part of the process that we taught ourselves. What's the biggest number one thing we wanted was an energy efficient home.
Yeah.
As energy efficient as we could get. So that's why maybe we didn't put the money in the floors, we put it in the insulation
and the roof.
Yep. And we didn't do an elaborate landscaping. We put it in the stove and the oven because they're energy efficient.
And we have lots of land, so we have lots of time to work with our land. We have 10 acres. It's going to take us a long time to fill our 10 acres with stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Hopefully food stuff.
But those are things you have to research
Yeah.
on your own, and you have to have an idea of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
For 5 years since I started Axe, the first question people have had is, are any of the homes built? Can I talk to one of the property owners? The question is, now that you actually have an Axe home on the actual property, is it worth it? Fully off grid, is it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we love it. Every morning we have a beautiful sunrise. Every night we have a beautiful sunset. I have a shooting range out the back of my house. The dogs can run. And if we want to go anywhere, we just hop in the truck or the Tesla and away we go.
No.
Yeah, it's well worth it. And the grandkids, when they come here, oh, they're crazy. They love it.
Our grandson was here Saturday night.
He was
had
crying.
a big birthday celebration. He had to go home. He laid in the floor and cried, "I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Today's my birthday. I got to do exactly what I wanted to do. I got to go. I'm filthy dirty, but I got to plant my flowers.
Playing all the flowers.
Happy birthday! Hello!
I got to plant all my flowers. I got to move my cherry trees. I got to dig in the dirt, and that's what I live for.
Good.
See, and it's gonna get pink soon. No, this is my birthday gift.
This will be our view from our dining room once we get our dining room eventually.
And we get the windows clean. That's okay.